whenever a manager's under pressure, yeah, at a big club, because of the players they've got, yeah, and because you can just get the luck of you can get the rub of the green at times. It almost seems like every time a big manager's under pressure, yeah, they get a decent run of games, they get out of it, and then everything's all right, and then people forget about it, like they brush it under the carpet, and then we're back here again. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them ones. Do you think that Poch deserves more time, or do you think it's just a matter of time?
It's a tough one. I try not to be as emotive as I used to be, and I'm trying to look through it for the facts. From an emotional perspective, I don't think his mentality's right. I do think that there are certain things I question when he talked about. I think the Middlesbrough game is a big example. We lost that first leg 1-0. And I get from a footballing aspect, there's a second leg. It's like, all right, you've still got another leg, lads. It's like, you've just lost to a team which is mid-table in the Championship and they're not even doing well there. Like, come on, the level of quality we have in that team's better. This shouldn't be happening and you should be saying that. But then this goes back to what we're saying about the mentality of the modern player. How are they going to react to that? He's got to manage that. So that's one. Okay, how do you handle that? I think tactically, he's shown a lack of flexibility in situations which could have been dealt with better. I think that realistically, this season, I think Chelsea have had a team which is more akin to a 5 at the back. For example, he was worried about height. Okay, well, let's play centre backs, let's play wing backs. I understand the other system you want to implement, but the amount of injuries that Chelsea have had, I think I saw a stat the other week. Chelsea have had 200. Well, this as of last week, Chelsea had 274 injuries in 250 odd weeks. Right, that's across multiple managers. That's not just the manager's fault. That's the medical staff that needs to be looked at, right? Because clearly they aren't doing their job. So, he's in that situation when he said, we had injuries, which mean haven't been able to play our system. Okay, well, if you haven't been able to play your system, you need to, like you were talking about earlier, older managers need to adapt. In those situations, you need to adapt. We're playing a 3 at the back in pre-season. We were looking really good. Why aren't we doing it now? What's the situation? How's this work? So, instead of doing that and maybe playing in Maatsen as a left wing back, we are playing Lever Colwill out of position in left back, making us easily targetable down that side rather than adapting to the situation. So emotionally, I didn't think he was there. Tactically, I think he was inflexible. He's dealing with the cards he's been dealt, but then he also makes important points, such as, Chelsea have. That's a good comment. I like that.
This comment's killed me, bro.
He talks about how, Chelsea aren't the club they used to be, and that we're not. We ain't. Right? I think people need to remember that with what Roman Abramovich is saying. It's not that club anymore. We are very fortunate to have an owner like Roman Abramovich who wanted to win. However, in fairness, there were things that needed adapting and changing. Chelsea needed tweaking, didn't need an overhaul. But we've had the overhaul now. It's been there, it's done. We aren't the club we were. They've got a new mentality, which is why he said what he said yesterday, which is Chelsea aren't the Chelsea they were 20 years ago. These are the own players who are trying to their own journey and carve out their own piece of Chelsea history. So, there's a lot of issues there. But then again, like I said, Pochettino also isn't completely, as I touched on there, the sporting directors completely stupid. Actually, the ownership, like I said to you,
I'm gonna run the Twitter link that you sent me as well because I've only skimmed it, but bro, it looks great. I'll be honest.
Yeah, but yes, like I said, the 18 months. I said this to you 18 months ago. Focus on getting the first bit right. They haven't done that. We've gone and bought another club in Strasbourg, where Strasbourg are facing the issue of this whole multi-club model. Need help in certain things. I think, for example, they were close to signing Davinson Sanchez, and they didn't do it. So, they've now got younger players, which means they're not doing as well as it could be because they need to sort certain things out. So, there's lots of moving parts here, which means Pochettino isn't completely to blame.
Yeah, 100%. Like this thing here, from Rob Draper. Yeah, obviously, I've always said I don't think it's all the manager, and I think that the setup's got a lot to do with it. But like, when he's saying I'm not trying to be a Poch advocate or whatever. He said maybe he's not quite as good as we think. can accept all that, but here's a list of things that are definitely not his fault. And then he says squad mix. Chelsea can consistently field the youngest starting 11 in the Premier League, which is what I said. It's a problem. Consistently signing, yeah, these are young, unproven players, yeah. And also the amount of money you spent with them. Like I said, what's your spine? When United brought in a class of 92, we had a spine. And like you say, in Fergie, you'll never win anything with kids' team. Had Schmeichel, Pallister, Irwin, Cantona, McClare, bruv, in their 30s. Your only player in their 30s, yeah, his legs are gone, bro, and it's your Brazilian centre back that can only play in a free now, probably. So I said that this is a problem, and there you go. That's just an example, bro.
This is it. It's like there's so many things with it where, you know, there's so many moving parts, and I really, really strongly advocate you guys read this thread. That's why when I talk about football, I like to talk about football now. I'm not someone who likes to lose their shit very often. And if I
Yeah,
do,
facts. He's saying they've been blinded by the lure of youth, seeing it as football's holy grail. This is reductive assessment one might make if you're a massively overconfident private equity billionaire with a superhero complex. And you know what the crazy thing about that situation is as well, yeah? It's like these guys are not cheap either, bro. And also with sports science and stuff like that, players are playing longer in their careers. Everyone's always thinking about resale value, which is flipping annoying, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Because when people are saying nonsense, like, for instance, all these Chelsea players that you're signing right now for all this money, and you're talking about resale value. How is there resale value, yeah, on Mudryk, bro? Because you've spent him, you bought him, he's not playing well. It doesn't matter how old he is. You're not going to get your money back on you.
That's what they're based on. Oh, it's a risk. It's an £85 million risk that they've taken there. Like,
it's not worth it.
It's not worth exactly. It's like they're going, oh, we don't want to spend 100 million on Ivan Toney because for an extra 30 million you can get 6 more years out of Victor Osimhen. Yeah, but Chelsea don't need that right now. Chelsea need a guarantee, and that because this is the other thing, right? I'm not sure if Rob touched on this. I can't remember, but the methodology of the ownership and the targets they're trying to set are completely illogical, right? So they're talking about how this is a project that the young players develop. They've got time on their side. They've got this. They've got that, right? But then they're turning around and going, but we still expect top 4 this season. How does that work? It doesn't make sense. Like there is no logic to it. So, you know, the overall situation, it just shows that we've got the blind leading the blind in this situation. You know, Lawrence Stewart and Paul and Stanley coming from Brighton and are bringing a Brighton mentality to a larger club. I appreciate what they did at Brighton is probably fantastic, right? But then you also need to shift mentally. You need to remember that, look, Chelsea over the past, 20 years are the most successful team in England. Period. Full stop. End of. No.
Yeah, but also when you look at a Brighton, yeah, they still brought in players like Danny Welbeck, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? That are experienced.
That's after these two have gone.
Okay. Well, there you go. Well, maybe that's where they missed the trick, because teams like Brighton, as much as you're bringing in these Caicedos and these Matomas and all that, you need Welbecks. You need those kind of players. The players that been there, done it, understand the league. You know you're going to get a certain level of consistency from them. Do you know what I mean? You need those players in every single team. Do you know what I mean? Also, your Lallanas and your Milners and that. Like, you need these kind of players. Like, letting go of Jorginho, letting go of Mount, Kovacic, Rudiger, all those players, and not replacing them with experienced players, bruv. Like, do you know what I mean? You saw the difference Jorginho made, yeah, for Arsenal the other day against Liverpool. Like, you lot could have done with a player of that quality or a player of that experience, even if it wasn't him himself.
With like Rudiger and Christensen, for example, they didn't sign contracts because of the sanctions, because they didn't know what was going on, and their heads were turned by Barcelona and Real Madrid. You know, I'm not going to turn around and go, oh my god, can't believe they didn't wait to sign a contract. Is what it is in that situation. I'm going, okay, that was something we're taking a hit on. That's fine. I think Mason Mount, in hindsight, look again, 70 million quid pure profit. I'm not saying no. I don't think he'd be getting into our team right now. I don't. And you know how highly I rated him. So I don't think he'd be getting into our team. So that just makes sense. Kovacic again was another one where it's like he didn't want to sign another contract, so we moved him on. But it's the mentality is like That's why I'm saying, like, okay, he maybe wouldn't have started, but James Ward-Prowse comes in, have him on the bench as an option, maybe play in those bigger games. In those games where you need something, but let me rephrase. Yeah, and come on, do something, help those younger players. Ivan Toney, guaranteed starter. Pedro Neto fits their bill of being under 25, but has Premier League
But
experience.
he's relatively Premier League experience. Pedro Neto is not a gamble. Like what man says here, yeah, signing lots of 19-year-olds, assuming 7 out of 10 of them are going to become stars, yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it's like assuming, bro, based off what? Based off stats. This is what I mean. Stop signing players, yeah, off stats, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I can see if a player's got a future in the game, yeah, with my eyes. I don't care about numbers, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about numbers. The same way you brought in Mudryk, yeah. It's like if you spend that money on Jack Grealish instead, yeah. Don't you think you would have got more out of it?
Probably, yeah. But then Jack Grealish, I think, is like, again, he's another one of those players where I think he would have maybe brought more. But then I think any player that signs for Chelsea right now, I wouldn't touch it. But then this is another thing with Pochettino, right? We want to get rid of him, right? Let's just say Chelsea wants to get rid of him, right? One, because we spent all this money in an awful way, we're in trouble with FFP if we got rid of him. That's a problem, and how the club's been run. And you know, it's going to be somewhere they're going to have to learn it the hard way, right? Secondly, if you are a manager of a good caliber, and this is why I'm saying simply getting rid of the manager is not going to solve the problem, right? If you're the manager of a good caliber, you do not touch Chelsea right now. You do not touch it, because Pochettino, as an example, in January, I want a left back, I want a striker, I want a centre mid, and I need some serious experience in this side, right? Because you're supposed to have more impact on the transfers. Bowley and Igbali, and when Stanley and Stewart, or Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and Dumb and Dumber, both all went, okay, no, because it doesn't fit this model of what we're trying to create, and da-da-da-da-da-da. So, like,
but the model's not working.
Exactly. So the football man is going, even if he might not have, as I've said, I think he's tactically inflexible, and I think mentally he's maybe not as strong as I'd like him to be, right? He's gone, what do you want me to do then? I'll just still go and do what you're doing. Okay, well, what's going on here? They're saying that everything's going to be reviewed at the end of the season. The first people out the door need to be the two sporting directors. It need to be the two sporting directors. Put it this way, if Paul Mitchell came in the summer, I'd give Poch another season, purely because of the track record the pair of them have together. You know, at Southampton and at Tottenham, they both had a very, very good track record. So, Poch has got a 2-year deal. So I think it's a 2-year deal. Someone correct me if I've got that wrong, please. But, you know, he's got a 2-year deal, which means that I'd be like, okay, well, let's see what happens. Give it another year. Or give it another 6 months. If he doesn't come in, Pochettino, the sporting directors need to go. Bowley and Igbali need to realise that they are being stupid. They need to realise it. Because this complex where they're like, we want to be more collaborative. If you want to be more collaborative, you need to listen. 2 ears, 1 mouth. The amount of times I say this to people now, it's ironic that I'm telling people to shut up. It's ironic, isn't it?
No, I hear it.
2 ears, 1 mouth. You don't understand it. Again, Ryan Abramovich, time, but there's still tangibles and variables can sort of marry up to it. He didn't understand the game that well, so he got Peter Kenyon, who understood football inside and out.
He got people, exactly. He nicked Peter Kenyon, and this is the problem. The fact I said it, when Todd Bowie came in, and the first thing he said was, "All right, cool, I'm gonna do this DOF thing for a little bit because I'll do it myself." I was like, "Oh, you men are fucked." That's because I was just like, bro, like the first thing you go and do is you go and get the best in class, bro. This is what our new owners are doing. Our new owners gone to Man City and poached Barada the same way Roman came to Man United and poached Peter Kenyon, because that's what you do. United have been successful for all these years. I've just come in at Chelsea, so I'm going to go to Man United and take their guy, bruv, because it makes sense. We're going to Man City and take their guy. Todd Bowie comes in and says, "Nah, I'm going to do it myself, bruv. 10-year contracts."
Me and you both said that. We both went, what? It's just like,
as soon as he said he's doing it himself, I was like, yeah, okay. Do you know what I'm saying? And now here we are.
every other person on Twitter, everyone on Twitter. Right? This is why I get tired of people questioning my football knowledge, because I'm not going to lie, I'm smarter than most of the people on Twitter, and I don't mean to say that without too much, but I know my stuff, as does Rants, right? If this is me, right, and I'm Todd Bowley, I'm biting the bullet in the summer, and I'm going, right, I've messed up here. Michael Edwards, I know you don't want to be maybe as in touch with club football as much. I know you don't want to be sort of a certain person who's just heading up a process, but please, here is a blank piece of paper. Can you fix the mess that I've made and go find me the right person? Yeah. I think we had a pretty good person for Vivell, but then when my alarm bells were ringing in the summer, I think we had a stream the day he left. When Vivell went, yeah, I'm going to go on gardening leave until December because this ain't working, and he left when Stanley and Stewart in charge. I sat there and I went, "Ooh, okay, this isn't good." The actual person who was a sporting director doesn't want to be here, right? Okay, what's the issue? It says a lot. It says a lot about the situation. So we'll have to see. But for me, I'm sort of going, look, go and get the best in class. No, look, Paul Winstanley might be a fantastic scout, which is what he was at Brighton. Let him do a scouting. Lawrence Stewart, I don't even know what he was, but figure something out. Because if you can't get rid of him, you've got to do it. But you need to get the people who actually know what they're doing. And this multi-club model, just focus on getting the football clubs right.